This is a Hâck The Hague podcast. On this episode, how to guide students towards the ethical hacking path.
My name is Alex Scherphoff. I am a part-time ethical hacker / security specialist at my own company, Secure IT. And I am also a part-time security lecturer at the Rotterdam University of Applied Sciences for the computer science engineering program. I am partly responsible there for the security courses in the computer science engineering program, but I'm also the coordinator for the security lab program, which is a semester full of in-depth challenges around ethical hacking and security engineering.
My name is Michael de Klein. I'm 23 years old. I'm a security specialist at Computest Security, which I've been doing for a little over 2 years now. Which before I did the computer science education at the Rotterdam University of Applied Sciences. In my last year, I followed the security labs minor, in which Alex was my tutor. And in 2019, I won first place in the category of most surprising hack of Hâck The Hague 2019.
I'm Sam Cornelissen. I'm 20 years old, and I'm a student at the Rotterdam University of Applied Sciences. I'm currently in the second year of my study computer science engineering. I've been Alex's student assistant for networking and security, and I'm still a little bit on the fence about what I am going to do with cybersecurity.
Alex, what does the Rotterdam University do to guide its students to ethical hackers?
My primary answer would be that I don't think we need to do that. Of course, we do have some standard things that you often see. For example, during the minor, it's very important that the students follow the IEEE Code of Ethics. And for any vulnerabilities that they find, that they report according to the guidelines that are stated by the NCSC. But at the end of the day, I don't think that we need to worry too much about our students becoming black hat hackers. They chose to take the academic path towards a cybersecurity career. There's a certain trust there that I have with the students, and I think that we should have that.
Sam, how do you see your own responsibility should you eventually become an ethical hacker?
I see it in a way that I wouldn't use the skills that I learn for bad, but that is also a perspective of who you ask. Because, for example, if you hack the Dutch government, you could say that that is bad. But if you don't believe in the Dutch government, then you yourself might be thinking that you are doing good. So this is a pretty complicated matter in that aspect.
You do get a really cool T-shirt if you do manage to hack the Dutch government. It's a T-shirt and it says, "I hacked the Dutch government and all I got was this lousy T-shirt."
I think Sam has a great point. It all depends on the perspective of the one who's behind the keyboard. But I think that because not every developer has the security background that we do as security specialists, and most developers introducing bugs or security risks into certain systems are even aware of the fact that they are introducing security risks. So it's our responsibility as security specialists to point them out, to help them, and to make the society a better place, or the digital footprint of the society a better place by helping our colleague developers.
So
Alex, what does Rotterdam University has to offer to potential cybersecurity specialists?
Besides a associate degree that is being made right now, the information security associate degree, we have an elective of a full semester, which is pretty well known in the Netherlands, which goes very in depth on the practical side in ethical hacking and security engineering. But it is an elective, although it is growing quite significantly. And I hope that eventually, maybe in the future, it will become an entire bachelor program.
Okay, that sounds really interesting. If I ask Sam and Michael, what are important elements of your education? If you're looking to do a degree in cybersecurity, what are important things that an education is offering you? May I start with Michael?
Yeah, so what really helped me is that in cybersecurity, it's really important to know the basics of how the technology works. In my field of work, I mostly test web applications, and that's one of the most valuable knowledge I've been taught at the university. It's one to know how a web application works and how it should be built, but it's another side to know how it shouldn't work and how you can break it. So that's some practical knowledge I've been really helped with during my studies.
Okay, and Sam, what's your view on this?
I agree with Michael that you should have a very good theoretical foundation. But I also think that you should really have a lot of practice. So when you master the theory, that you should actually do it. Because otherwise you won't know how to use the theory you've learned.
Okay, Alex, are there any specific ways that the University of Rotterdam is dealing with that? Are you offering students enough time and possibilities to practice?
Yeah, well, actually, that's my whole philosophy behind teaching. I prefer to give students a chance to apply their skills in a practical setting, much more than that they pass a theoretical exam. And the entire security lab program is built around that philosophy. So while there are theoretical classes within the minor program, there is not a single theoretical exam, and all the examination is done centered around them completing a certain project, or them performing a security audit for the university, or them designing a prototype in a secure way. Everything is centered around the practical application of the theory that they had before. So yeah, that's how I think cybersecurity should be taught everywhere.
Okay, and is that also a reason why you stimulate your students to participate in Hâck The Hague?
Well, that is very multifaceted. Of course, that is one of the reasons, because it's a way to get practical experience. But there's so much more to be had there for students. One, you get to know other people within the field, both students and professionals. Of course, the municipality of The Hague might actually be a future employer, so you get to know them. But yeah, the main thing is being able to actually hack The Hague. I think is not only just cool, but also a very valuable teaching moment for students.
Okay, and Alex, what's your coolest or most challenging job so far?
Well, that's difficult to answer from my professional perspective, since I can't really discuss my clients. But since I'm sitting here with two hats, I'm going to answer it from an educational perspective. And I think not so much it is the coolest project that we do within the minor, but also for me, what was really fun is that when I started this minor, I really wanted to do a security audit project where the students would be pen testing or performing a security audit on the university systems. So I made a pretty elaborate proposal to our security team and our IT team, and I made a meeting with them, and we were standing at the coffee machine, and I was kind of pitching my idea, and they were already on board. That was all that was required. I kind of anticipated that I had to really convince them, but before we even had our official meeting, before we all had our coffee, they were already on board, and we were already discussing possibilities instead of me trying to convince them. And that resulted in a really cool project where the students get to attack the university's systems, our production systems, for about 5 weeks. Since it's also a learning track for the students, of course, they get a little bit more time than you generally see with the pen test. But that way they get real hands-on experience from beginning until the actual wrap-up of a security audit. And it makes the university a little bit more safe.
Thank you very much for your time and for being there.
For sure.
Yeah.